Do we have ignition again? Hello, hello. I still say my starting soon screen is cursed. Welcome. There, I'll put that in I'll put welcome in chat just in case we're having a good old time. We're having a good old time today. It not to jinx it too badly, but it does appear that we do have a stable stream now. We'll see how long that lasts. We will see how long that lasts. I blame the neighbors. Why not? They must be uploading all their daily Snapchats or something, syncing all their drives or OneDrives or whatnots. That's what it is. Because it's upload, so it wouldn't be everybody hopping on Netflix at the same time. But it does appear that we have stabilized. So maybe we have to have a test stream first to wake up the internet. Even though I use it all day, to wake up the internet, and then it's good to go on the next try. And there go our frames. That is really something. Okay. Anyways, let's try anyways. We have a cube. Behold, my cube. It will not remain a cube. It will be. We need music too. That's what the real problem is. Twitch is just angry that I'm not streaming music. That must be. Okay, let's see how we are now. Got chat open. Let's get our source material open. You know what? I'm gonna pin it to the window again because that seemed to work out pretty good last time. Let me just remove the scope dog because we're not working on the scope dog now. Gonna load up a different image. There we go. Unload when not showing, sure. I don't know why my one arm likes to. Let's see, this be my left, but it's mirrored in the screen. I don't know why that freaks out when it can't find it. I think it would just leave it alone. My guess is it doesn't like it when I lean forward really far. That would be my guess. Okay, let's see. Shrink this guy down just a little bit. Maybe not too much. There we go. So we'll leave him there and let's start doing some modeling. Wait. Oh, he's mysteriously cropped. I think it's because the scope dog was also cropped. There we go. Can you all see that now? Let's see. I should almost put it right above my head. I think then a bunch of the menus drop out of sight. There, we'll make it that big for now. Roughly lines up with Winamp. It looks like it's intentional. Okay. And I myself have a larger version on my other monitor. Oops. You can see them too. There we go. Now we have a nice modeling environment set up. Doesn't look like that's a. No, it's at a slight angle, so the modeling is going to be a little off, but I think it'll be fine. And above all, it just looks cool. Though I am uncertain about how realistic it is. We'll have to bring up the video on how that foot actually works. But we're gonna model it anyways, because we can always make it look how we want it to, right? Rule of cool. And this is Mecha Modeling. I do want to rig it so that rig it with IK so it looks like we can step down with it and such. Because yeah, it just looks so cool. I'm going to find the video of it so that we can properly rig it. Okay. Go back to this. Go back to this. Oof. I was just checking on an auction for a iPhone that I was watching, because Rusty really wants better face tracking. And we have good face tracking, but we have decent face tracking, but I don't have all the fun ARKit iPhone stuff. We have an approximation of it through webcam, which feeds through Invader Broadcast to iFacial mocap to VC Face, and that's where we are right here. I am still working on my my own Unity environment, my own app. I have a cursor floating above my head. There we go. There we go. Now it's hiding behind me. So yes, the app is in progress. We might work on it on Wednesday, which is going to be software day. Software or graphic design day. We'll see. I do want to make start making some stream. I'd say stream elements, but I think that that name was already taken. But you know, like a little more branding for more cohesive design here. You know, overlay is rather sparse. I'd like, you know, put a little nifty stuff to the bottom maybe. You don't really need to see the timeline. I don't use it anyways. Weekly schedule graphic. Found a font I like. So we can get into that on Wednesday. Found an old sci-fi font. And I was also used in a lot of technology. You know, it was one of those that screamed like technology back in the day, back in the pretty much the 60s to the early 90s, late 80s. So I'm going to use something like that font because I don't want to license the font just for you know, a couple of elements. Not when I'm was working as a, you know, freelance graphic designer for a good, you know, 15, 20 years. Mostly part-time for a large chunk of that, but still though, it's like the DIY in me is just like, you could buy it and it would save you time. It's fitting that I'm in a business suit for this conversation. You could buy it. It would save time, but what if you did it yourself? Would that suit the company's needs? So, yes, we're gonna need that report by Monday. So can you come in on the weekend? Yes. Fun stuff. I joke. But it's always funny how in a lot of trades, the person who does the trade, you know, all week long at home, they just don't. You know, like a carpenter might have kind of a falling apart house, or at least a lot of projects lined up at the house. You know, I'm the same way. Like I've got a whole stack of, you know, art projects I want to do or computer-based stuff lined up. It's like, but I do that all day, every day. So my own stream looks barren like this. I'd show you the starting soon screen, which I did, hack together, but it seems to tank my bitrate when I do that. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to anger the OBS or Twitch overlords. Apparently, with our starting soon screen. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, good evening, Waffle. Welcome back, Wafflecron. I was just kind of going into what we're doing today and what we're doing on Wednesday. Wednesday is the next streaming day this week. We now have a relatively concrete schedule. It's gonna be Mondays and Wednesdays. Monday, most of the time, being at least right now, we're planning for Mecha Modeling Monday, and then Wednesday is going to be the free day. This week it will probably be kind of a, how did I put it on the socials? Art, design, and robot. Almost like Love, Death, and Robots, right? So art, design, robot. So Rusty will be with us. I should say Rusty Robot. I have to remember to use my own naming conventions. I'm Rusty. And then Rusty Robot is the physical robot version of Rusty. Not the digital avatar. Yeah. Gotta make that distinction. I should probably have a sign above my desk here saying Rusty Robot is the robot. But yes, he'll be joining us on Wednesday. And we're going to do some art and design for the stream. I actually got to dig out my tablet from storage and set it up on the desk here. That should be interesting to make sure I can fit all of that on here. But for today we're going to start on this foot. Oh wait, wow, I think my mug is actually worse than I thought it was. I didn't realize there was a hole in the side of it, too. That is some, just... Like I said, I'm going to leave this as my running joke of awful modeling. Welcome to my modeling stream where I can't even model a cylinder. A capped cylinder. All right, let's see. Ooh, we are dropping frames again. Awesome. I think there's a storm going through again. That always messes with the everything. There we go. So, if you're gonna be coming in late, welcome to my slideshow. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can bring in this reference. I should really start with that. Let's see if we can bring in a reference. Create a reference. What does that do, actually? Oh, no, that looks like that's for loading something else entirely. Yeah, that didn't work at all. But F-check does work. Oh, that's nice. I have to make sure I set that to the default for opening IFF files. So I was going through some old stuff, like literally almost 20 years old, because we're in the year 2024, and this was 2006. Because I was looking to see, it's like, okay, get this foot over here. If I'm going with a humanoid rig, a humanoid type joint setup, like like the avatar here, then I can use the wonderfulness of Maya's human IK for setting up a humanoid skeleton with nice controls and IK ready to go. Like it's ready to animate basically. You just have to weight paint. So that's cool. In fact, that'll probably work on this foot, assuming I make more than just a foot. Maybe. I would have to do it justice by doing the entire... let me show you. Why? What do you mean open up? Photos legacy? What is Photos legacy? Well, let's see what it is. Anyways, something must have updated again, because of course Windows has to update everything. So there is an amazing shot of this fella on the this fella's foot. Let's zoom in on said foot. It really looks nothing like that. Did somebody prank me and install or upload the wrong photo? Because this has 3 toes. Whereas the one on the corner of the screen most certainly does not. Here's a bigger picture of it. Them toes don't match up at all. Well, that's curious. Okay, maybe this isn't the same artwork. That is... Yeah, that doesn't match up at all. This motor right here isn't, or whatever this unit is, isn't right there either. Either way, we're modeling the foot. Interesting. I'm shrugging my shoulders right now. Someday I will add in an animation override so I can either link it to, I don't know, my eyebrows going up or something. But I will have my shoulders shrugging. It's interesting what does and does not get picked up with the motion capture. Motion capture? Yeah, technically motion capture. Okay. Okay, hide that behind chat again. There we go. Are we still a slideshow? Yep, we're still a slideshow. This is ridiculous. I gotta talk to my ISP. It's like, you're at 5 meg upload. That is hideous. And of course when I'm streaming. Yeah. I wonder if they think I'm torrenting or something like that. What I should do is I should see if it's while I'm doing this, I should see what I'm getting on my cell phone and seeing if it would actually be better to hotspot it, even though this computer is plugged in all the way to the modem. That is pretty disappointing. Oh well. So if y'all can put up with a 15 frames a second, I would appreciate sticking around and chatting, having a good time here. I am reasonably sure that we are coming through at the right 720. We're coming through at 720p, just like I intended. Sadly, I wonder if we drop down to 480p, if that would make a difference. Fuzzy vision. Although, they all say... Oops. No, don't get rid of that. They do say, they being, the streaming gurus, they all say that viewers value audio more than visuals. So they're willing to, they being you all, you're willing to forgive kind of blocky or blurry, you know, subpar visual quality, as long as the audio is not complete garbage. So we're gonna put that to the test. Assuming my audio sounds okay too. I don't know how dropping frames works for audio. But yeah, my little stream meter's in the red. So that's great. That's just great. Okay. So we're gonna change this little cube here. The cube is a fake out actually. No, we didn't go away. There we go. All right, that was me checking to see if downloads were downloading, in fact. Anything else running I can shut down? Nope. Okay. Anywho. All right. No, we're sending it all over the place here. Okay. So anywho, what we have here is the cube. It was kind of a fake out because it's the running joke with Blender, right? That you have to, when you open up a new file, you have to, or new scene, you have to delete the default cube. So he's just there as a Blender rage bait. So so that's what that's there for. Okay, we're gonna take we're taking a slight technical difficulties moment here. Oh gosh, no, our okay, I'm checking to see if my phone's any faster, which would be absolutely pitiful. It is absolutely not faster. We just have terrible internet yet again. Yep, no, we're in slideshow mode. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So, anyways, I'm going to ignore my OBS for a while, and we'll just roll with it tonight. Sorry for the slideshow quality. Internet is garbage again. You know, if I could take my my home internet and merge it with my mobile internet, you know, have them share, that'd be almost like double. So then I could actually stream, right? All right, let's see what we actually have for output here. I lied when I said I wouldn't look at this again, but I am looking at it again just to make sure. No, we're outputting at the correct dealio. Could stop stream again. Ugh. Yeah, I think tomorrow I will get a newer version of OBS and see if any of that enhanced broadcast stuff can help save me. Help save me. Okay, I don't know why my internet's so garbage. Great all day until nighttime. Okay. Anyways, enough of that rambling. It's been like 20 minutes already. All right. Hello, default cube. Let's do something about this default cube. that. Let's see, what aspect ratio is this image? I mean, it's not going to be perfect anyways, but it'll be a good start. Here we go. It is 640 by 504. That must be like full screen aspect? Where's my calculator? Calculator. Close. Yeah, it's 1.26. That's an interesting aspect ratio, so it must be some kind of crop. But anyways, we will roll with that. Oops, not that much. We'll keep it on the grid just for fun's sake. Should we center it? Can always move it around later. Okay. Hyper shade. I finally got annoyed with seeing the little green outlines around the new features of Maya 2016. I finally got annoyed with them and turned them off. Oh, is it an image plane? I bet it's an image plane. Maybe not. Maybe not. Create material. What am I gonna call this? Big source. We're gonna go find that file, which is not anywhere where it should be, but that's okay. It is hiding away on the desktop. It is a screenshot. Go figure, we can't use a WebP in software created before WebPs. So we're gonna go get that. Oh, there's some other cool stuff from that same series. Oh, it's a short OVA. Okay, so a little backstory here while I go look for my file that I just screenshotted. This foot allegedly is from the anime MADOX-01. There, now it's a PNG. That's close enough. It's from the anime MADOX-01, which was a original video animation called OAV or OVA, depending on who you talk to. Original video animation, so basically for the home video market, not for a movie, not for TV, for the home video market. And this happened to be 1988. Some of them had nice budgets because they weren't bound by a weekly release schedule. Let's see, put this in, put in data, screenshot, there we go. Better rename it or I'll never remember it. MADOX. Okay, let's go find that MADOX. Okay, so anyways, it's about 45 minutes long or so. A lot of them were. That's like a double TV episode almost in length. Not entirely sure why so many things were that length actually. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, so 1988 is when we're going back to for some Mecha Modeling Monday. and this time a foot. So we can see what is a foot. Let's see. Assign material. Do we see the material? We see the material this time. All right. Welcome in, Vanilla, with a terrifying cat face. Hello. Man, when you put the face like that, it sure is something. It reminds me of the alien from the last Starfighter. If you recall or know of that, I heard they're remaking it, in fact. But yes, the last Starfighter, one of the aliens had eyes like down here on the head. It is a rather hideous creature, but that's what I think of when I see that lineup. Oh, why am I not seeing? There we go. There's the look. I have chat here now. Welcome. Oh. Hello? Chat? Don't tell me Stream Melon's been acting up again. Come on. Be nice, Stream Elements. We had this discussion. Let's see. We had this discussion. We are allowed to send emotes in chat. Come on. Let me check my activity feed just to make sure it's not being overprotective again. I have no idea where that even is. There's supposed to be some kind of dashboard for that. Okay, do we see you? There we go. Now we see you. Welcome, welcome. I am having all sorts of fun stuff today with my internet. As you can probably tell with slideshow mode here. I think I'm coming in through at like 15 FPS. No, we appreciate the emotes. I am also a fan of good fun times with emotes. Let's see. There. Let's go with that one. But yeah, I don't know. My internet is just being garbage for upload at night. I might have to be a 480p streamer pretty soon. It's bad enough I'm doing 720. So yeah, have a talk with my ISP, and you know, nothing will happen, of course, because they're the ISP. But yes, we're doing a foot today, and probably the next session too. This here foot is from MADOX-01. Although I pulled up another image of the same mecha, and the foot looked different. So I am skeptical, but this is the foot I remember. And it just looks cool. Yeah, let's make it bigger. I just clicked in my my OBS window, and I was wondering why Maya wasn't changing. Maybe I should look at the other monitor. There we go. Behold our foot. Our foot is a little squished. There we go. Now it's less squished. But yes, no, I'm definitely going to do more hard surface. That's going to be my focus, really. Kind of low poly and hard surface. I'll work my way up towards high poly hard surface, like this one would definitely be. But we're still getting back into it. In fact, this, you know, parts of this, I look at this, it's like, man, why am I not doing this in Fusion? Because Fusion has the sketch tools. Fusion 360 has the sketch tools, and I've really come to like those. You know, it's just once you get used to the differences between Maya, Blender, and CAD, it's like, though I guess Fusion 360 is quite a bit different from using like AutoCAD. So, but this guy here, Yeah, I don't know. I am kind of skeptical about some of the planes in this, on how it would look, but we're gonna roll with it. We'll get it close enough. We'll get it close enough. How about that? So we got our cube here. I'm gonna try and lock this down. Let's see. Lock. I might have to just add it to a different layer. No, I'll just play dangerously and try not to select it. This is also a little tricky because it's not quite, it's not an actual side view. So we're more or less using it just to get the size right more than anything. In fact, right here, I can see this is actually quite the shadow down here. For like a foot tread, you know, rubber sole. But you know what? We're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna live extra dangerously and try to do this in try to do this in perspective mode. Let's see how fast we can do this. Let's go about here, and then I'll extend this up here. So how are we doing today, Vanilla? Did I see you in someone else's chat earlier today? I think I might have, though I can't be quite sure. See, we're gonna make this, we're gonna round this eventually. So I'll just use some of the multi-cut tools and work with that there. So we got the basic parts of the ski, the foot. And we'll deal with this, we really got some speed holes in here. It's interesting choice. Oh, say speed holes are the fun term for reducing weight. Yeah, because it makes you go faster because you weigh less. But this is interesting that they put speed holes on the foot, of all places. Also, I'm missing something right here. I assume I'm missing something right here because there's a connection point, but nothing right there. So what is the point of this? Because you could see where a pin would go through there. Like for another one of these little air shocks. See, this looks like an air shock. Like you would have on your car hood or your screen door. So that's what that looks like. Theoretically, it would be more like pneumatics for pushing off with the foot, maybe. It all depends on how the real life IK would be set up. You know, it's like, what is the point of this foot? Is this foot, is it for locomotion or is it for traction? They have another set of cylinders back here for the heel. So my guess is this whole what we're modeling is not actually for locomotion. This is actually for traction, which is neat. It's a neat idea to me. So for stability, you know, in forming on a surface, whereas the ankle right here would be more for propelling it. Let's see if we can find ourselves a source for this. I've seen it because I've seen where this screenshot came from. I mean, I have this on. I'm 99% sure I actually have this on a VHS tape, hiding away in a box right now. MADOX, what? That sounds sketchy. What the? Who is? No, good grief. That is not what I wanted. MADOX anime? That is what I want. Oh my gosh, that was... Whew. I was getting people. And I did not want people. I don't need upscaled using AI. I just need... There we go, here we go, here we go. Ooh, that just blew out my eardrums. Okay. Make sure there's nothing sketchy in the sidebars. That'd get me in trouble. Okay. Oh, let's get rid of the ads, I guess. So this is like the loading screen, you know, how to calibrate. There we go, calibrations. Calibrations. To quote a Garrus. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's the engine. Some weapons. It does only have 2 toes. Okay, so that one image is completely wrong. That one splash image we were watching. There we go. Oh, that was a very brief shot. So this thing fits more in the power armor or hard suit category of mecha. And it's got a jet engine. It's nice. That is actually some nice line art there. Let's we'll come back to that. Well, how long is this? How long is this video? Okay. Let's see if there's more foot stompies over here. Ooh. Oh, there's going to be a lot more modeling than I anticipated. So you got the toes. I'm going to call them toes. I'm going to get my mug out of my face. There we go. So we got the 2 toes that we can see in this image behind me here. And then it has, and there's the ankle. So let's there we go. So this is that. And then it has this cool like stability. Yeah, like stability spikes. Cause something's got it wrapped around its ankle here. So this can like shoot into the ground. Votoms had that too. So they could do like fast spins and also for so they could stay put and not move around. And they came around. That must have been a theme in realistic mecha, or you know, mecha nerds back then. I didn't really have much of that foot animation though. Let's look for them feet. Nope, cancel. Where were you, feet? You had like a 1 second walk cycle here. Video, you had one job. That joystick's pretty sweet too. It's nice and clicky. I know I don't have the audio turned on, but okay. So I don't think we see any of that. Show us them legs. There we go. Slow that down just a little bit. Yep, they are definitely for stability. Think of it like they're really using toes instead of feet. So the ankle is functioning like our foot would. And then think of these as, well, 3 of them. You see 2 of them here. Think of these as 2 sets of toes. Or if you were to walk with your hands, there, that's actually a better analogy. Think of it like if you were to walk with your hands, and my low poly model actually does a good job of showing that in a creepy squid-like way. So your foot, your heel of your foot would be your palm. So they're not walking with the palm, he's walking with the fingies. And if you're, a mechanical creature, well, why not? It's all, you don't have to worry about, weakness here. You can build it up as strong as you want. Although this still doesn't match this. I'm wondering if I searched for MADOX and they gave me a Patlabor foot. Did they give me the Ingram's foot from Patlabor movie? Okay. No, that's what we're looking at, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that is that. All right, put that away. No, I don't need that in 4K. Aha, okay, so I just had to check, so I wasn't losing my mind. This is Patlabor 2. I should have actually done this one because this is, in my opinion, nicer than the one we are working on right there. I mean, look at them foots. You've got the toe. I mean, this more accurate, or this is more equivalent to a human foot. So you've got the toe right here, and then you've got, forgive me on my, I don't have my anatomy book out here, my chart on the wall or anything, but you've got the toe, and then you've got the main part of the foot. Looks like the arch. I can use my mouse. You can get the arch right here. And then the heel, which is very similar to the MADOX heel, where it looks like it's also used for stability and shock absorption. Yeah, because looking at these, you would have to have shock absorption built into the legs themselves. You wouldn't want to place all of that stress just on the knee joint. Okay, so I laugh at this. It says enhanced version 4K blah blah blah. Guess what? I'm watching it 480p. Take that, upscale. I'll show you. I'll show you with my 30% drop frames. So I think it's actually stabilizing a bit. We might not be in slideshow mode anymore. How's it coming through now? Is it coming through pretty good, or is it still pretty awful? Yeah, I mean, when it records to my hard drive, it's perfect. It's even in 1080p. Because my OBS is set up for 1080p, and then the stream, it scales that down and sends it out because my bandwidth is kinda, well, as we found out, half an hour ago, my bandwidth is kind of dog water at times. So FPS is fine. Okay, thanks. Thanks for not enhancing it to. Oh, I'm looking at some of the comments. Thanks for not enhancing it to 60 FPS. Or, 120 FPS to make it extra ridiculous these days. I mean, I do love me some amazingly smooth anime like anybody else, but sometimes it gets a little excessive. Okay, so we are going to go with the assumption that these are two toes. And these, you know what? We'll do the Pat Labor foot later. We'll do this one first. I want to get the. This will actually look really cool with IK set up. So, yeah, this will look all right. It'll look pretty good, especially if I change some of the rotations around, so they kind of counter move. So I'll have to look through more videos to see when this sprays its little jets of air here. I would assume that that's a pressure relief valve, though it's really big and awkward looking. You can see one back here too for this cylinder. So these must be some kind of pneumatic cylinders, which would make sense. Makes sense for working against, for stability. If they were for movement, hydraulics would make more sense, because you can have a lot. I believe you can have a lot more force behind a hydraulic cylinder than an air cylinder. A lot more strength, maybe. Maybe force isn't the right word. It is kind of odd working in pseudo orthographic view. this picture, the screenshot is at an angle, so it's a little odd, but we can guesstimate just fine. Okay, so we've got that basic shape. This is going to be this. What does the little one look like? Okay, this comes up right here. If I had the new version of Maya, I could use the new Boolean tools, which are amazing. Basically, I could just take this plane and it would Boolean properly right through there. So that'd be pretty cool. But I do not have those tools. You know what? Let's do this one then. Since we're roughing it anyways. There we go. Okay. Going to line mode here. Ooh, ew, that... What the... Let's not do that mode. I don't know what that just did. I'll bring that up there. I will divide it out later. Same thing. Actually, this one can stay right there. I'm going to model this this middle section as its own creature. Yeesh. That is kind of ugly, isn't it? There. Yeah, it is a little tricky when there's rounds mixed in with the flats. Here, let's look. All right, look at the source image again. Oop, go away. There we go. So what I really should have done is I should have traced it and then just extruded it. That might have been the smart thing to do. But yeah, here's definitely where using a sketch tool or maybe a curves tool would have been maybe have been the smarter choice, because it does have these nice rounded connector points. We'll see how far we get tonight anyways. I wonder... What about some chamfer tools? We got a bevel. We got chamfer vertices. Do we have... Replace a vertex with a flat polygon face. No. I wonder if I'd be looking for more like the let's make hole. I wonder if we're looking... I'm thinking... So in Fusion, this would actually be so easy. Basically, I'd like draw out some rectangles, and then use a circle tool to make that nice, well, circle, and then a hole for the middle, and then take that whole surface and just loft it, or not loft, extrude it. Extrude it to give it thickness. So I'd take it from the flat image and then make it thicker. I can do the exact same thing here, but would I be able to do that without making it NURBS? So here's the, like the rebuild curve, 3-point circular arc. Oh, yeah, that would definitely make it easier. But then to convert it to from NURBS to polygons, I think you kind of get right back where we are here. So we'll continue with our hideous little temporary mess here. We'll be able to refine this shortly anyways. Basically, I'm going to subdivide this to smooth out everything, but only from the profile. So it's not going to smooth out this nice big flat space. That's the idea anyways. All right, where's my toolkit? Multicut. There. Now it's not quite so hideous. It's still hideous. Believe me. I know. I know. We'll go with that. Yeah. Cylinder is going to be right there. Might as well get him ready. Come on. Where are you? There you are. Not a super big cylinder, mind you. If I wanted to be, I'd say not fancy, but you know, doing this the right way, I would snap to the edge instead of guesstimate. There we go. Make it a little bigger. Oh, a little bigger doesn't actually work. I didn't make this super wide for this foot. There. Yeah, that's an ugly foot. We'll call this the roughing phase. We're kind of roughing in some of the features. We're definitely roughing in the features here. There's gonna be a pin, so it's gonna be about that big anyways. And yeah, so we're roughing them in now, and we will refine them later. I might still throw this all out and either draw up all the profiles in something like Inkscape or Illustrator, and then bring them in here, or I might make this an exercise for Fusion and just do the whole foot in Fusion. And then I can always bring it in here as an OBJ file, because I do not have the pro commercial version of Fusion, so I can't export in whatever I want. But yeah, no, some of those OBJs are less than ideal, let me tell you that. Or less than optimize. You look like you're right about there. Well, this is some really interesting design. As I'm digging into it more, it's like, what is the purpose of this part? What is the purpose of this part? Let's see, can we X-ray this? X-ray. X-ray. There we go. That's nicer. Actually, I should be using X-ray on this one too. X-ray. Yeah, it's like, what is the point of this part? What is the point of this part? Like, what is the point of this fastener here? Because if you look on a blow up, you know, you have this toe, which I'm not sure what that does either. It could be an armor connection point maybe, because this is all skeletal. I do not know what the point of this one is. This fastener. This connects the cylinder. Makes sense. What do they call that? Is that the knuckle? This, I assume, connects up here somewhere, though it doesn't show in the picture. This makes sense. I'm actually surprised this isn't slotted like this, just for looks. This is going to be pretty much... Ugh, I don't want to mess with this in in this software. Because that is the shape. Again, this is all just practice anyways. Like, I'm not even sure about modeling these speed holes. Actually, that's just a Boolean operation, so that's not that bad. Speaking of, let's do that one. Let's see. Oh, we can really simplify this one. Let's see, the width, height, we'll make it half, and then we'll eye up the other ones. The beauty of this piece is we can put this here, this here, this wherever. Oh, I guess we do need one subdivision would be helpful. Okay. Let's add a loop cut. Wait, where's my loop cut? Oh, add division? Oh, really? Give me a line. Give me a insert edge loop. Guys, again, mesh tools, insert edge loop. Nope, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so now we have two pieces. Two pieces mostly done. Ugh, I am dreading this. That is just oof in my mind. I mean, we have the basics of this foot. And we have this foot will be easy enough to be almost the same thing. With some changes. This foot, the heel. This cylinder will be the fun part. Where this connects is interesting. The what I'm gonna call the ankle. I might drastically simplify it for my purposes. Just a warning. But it's my show and I can do what I want. Okay, let's get some rough sizing in here. I will probably actually make this two different cylinders. So when I do rig it, one can spin and one will remain still. We are going to make this one slightly more detailed, though. I think we're going to do 16. Or should we stick with 12? Just to keep that low poly. Maybe we'll stick with 12 just to keep that low poly look for now. Since it's going to be a very basic cylinder, I can just mess with that later. Oops, and I made the mistake of making that in... Never mind. We're all good. We are going to make that thicker, though, because it is... it is the ankle, so I'm going to say it goes all the way through. So another interesting thing is because of how the it's deceptive in here. So that's why I'm kind of winging this. It's deceptive in this shot. After I looked at it some more, and that little clip of video, these toes, they're actually at an angle from each other. They're not both facing, in parallel. They're at angles splayed like this, for stability, of course. So, a confusing thing is how does this ankle work? Are there actually two of these, these ankle cylinders, one for each toe, and then something else in the back for the heel? It would make sense. It would actually. It would. That's another unfortunate thing. Okay, so we're gonna do each of these feetsies separately, I guess. How wide did I make that? Well, on today's Mecha Modeling Monday, we chose something that was going to give us some grief, didn't we? There we go. Okay, there. Make sure we're not dropping more. Okay, good, good, good. Looks like we haven't dropped too many frames in a hot minute here. Something about 8 o'clock apparently. Maybe it was the storms rolling through. Thought they didn't think we had storms rolling through at the moment. But who knows how rural internet works? Definitely not my service provider. Oops, no, 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 that was not what I wanted. What the heck was that? There we go. I'm gonna make this slightly larger. I'm gonna kind of fake it. It's gonna be the flange. I'm gonna call it a flange, and we're going to kind of extrude and work with it a little bit. I am not putting all these holes in this version of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this down right here. I tilt my head to the side. I'm not sure why. It is definitely a force of habit here. We'll just make that a tab for now. I might just bevel the edges instead of extruding again. Okay, so we've got that piece, and then what is over on the other side? See, this is part of the confusingness of it. Okay, so this plate goes here, and then it looks like it dips in and then comes back out on top for some reason. Whereas the heel definitely comes in behind that. So this heel is its own separate assembly. That is not part of this one here. I sure picked a interesting creature. Interesting creature to model today. So we are going to, we're just gonna fake it just a little bit here. Let's see, that one comes down like that. And we're gonna say these pieces definitely move in. Oops. Oh, in this case, our other cylinder's a little on the big side. Oops, come here. Let's play with these numbers just a little bit. It's just a little too large. Yeah, this one might not see the light of stream again. This might be a one-time only dealio here. Let's see. So, the home of this model, I was going to make a collection of mecha parts as part of my Mecha Modeling Mondays. We're going to this from here, this from there, and basically stock my factory with a whole bunch of parts that I've made here and there, and also to get ideas for my own. I started modeling it, and I call it my ugly mech. So it's going to be kind of a junker, cobbled together. It, fits the theme, right? Junker cobbled together, and I started modeling it, and then I was like, I need a little bit more practice before I dive into something that I'm making from scratch, because I want to rig this, or I want to rig everything so I can animate it. Whether I do that just in Maya, or if I bring it into an engine like Unity or Unreal. But in order to do that, you have to rig it properly. This is hideous. Okay. Yeah, in order to do that, you have to create it and then rig it properly. And in order to do that, I need a little bit more practice. It's been a long time since I've done a proper animation rig, especially one that is mechanical. A proper one set up with IK and everything. And yeah, so I want to make this work. I want to have this parent this some joints, and with these nice. I picked something with cylinders here for shocks, so that when the foot comes down, it adjusts and squishes a little bit. And I picked a tricky one here, so we might actually next time oops. Let me bring that back up. Next time I do this, I might use this guy instead. Because not only is this a nice side view, nice flattened side view, it makes more sense. I'm a little confused at the drawings on the other one. So this is one thing that this is one thing that I will give modern CG, I should say current 3D CG mecha. Not that there's that much of it, there really isn't. I'll give it credit for that. It's in 3D, and they don't use a lot of squash and stretch and exaggeration, so kind of what you see is what you get. Whereas back in the day, they had to draw it all by hand. Now, back in the day, you had beautiful stuff like this. This is from the second Pat Labor movie. This is a calibration testing. They're testing it at the factory. They're testing some of the mecha. I believe this is the next generation of the police vehicle. But yeah, I mean, here let's look at this Stompies again. Oh, here is the famous. So I'm gonna do this scene too. The little hand test. I mean, look at that. That is fantastic. I am definitely gonna do that. We have the technology. I want to do the foot first because I thought it'd be easier. So here is the foot in Pat Labor. Let's go back here a couple frames. Let's watch that again. Yeah, so that one mimics a human foot, whereas the one I'm modeling does not. The one I'm modeling is more like a claw. Ooh, hey, look at this. Fancy faux 3D graphics here. Yeah, that would be a fun redeem, wouldn't it? Just big mecha foot. To scale, of course. So to scale is funny because with mechanical, no, I'm moving over there. With mechanical objects, it's kind of hard to tell the scale. So this Pat Labor foot, the human would probably fit in this entire frame, standing next to it. However, This foot, it looks pretty similar, right? No, this version from Maddox is more of like a power suit. So it's only, a little bit bulkier than the human, because basically the human, like, his foot is up in that somewhere off camera, just off camera, and fits inside of that whole like hard suit, power armor kind of feel. But yeah, no, I chose a toughie for this guy because of all the angles and all the kind of decorative elements too. Whereas honestly, I forget if this is technically an Ingram or if this is the next model of the mecha. And I just rewatched this movie a couple months ago. Oh no, this would still definitely be tricky, but also fun to model. Let's watch this foot action one more time. Oh, it's in slow-mo too. That was probably somebody's like whole week's worth just to get that 5 seconds there. 2 seconds? Yep, this is from the opening of Patlabor 2. So did camera test? Oh, it's weird. I'm hearing the audio. I have it muted for you guys, but it's on 3/4 speed. Oops. But here we go. And the hand test is done in so many. I mean, it makes sense for a hand calibration to go through the hand motion. It's done in so many different, giant robot anime. Like Gasaraki does the same thing. Escaflowne does the same thing. I should make a compilation video of all the hand calibrations. I bet Evangelion even does it, even though they don't use glove control. I saw that when I was searching for clips from this anime, they also do it, but they have a different kind of glove. So Vanilla, if you like big mecha battles, Patlabor, it has amazing animation. Patlabor 2 does have a lot of robot and mecha action, but it is primarily a thriller, actually, and not a big robot beat 'em up. If you look for more robot action, I'd say like a Gundam. In fact, some of the Gundams are more they more take themselves more seriously as like a war drama, also, but while also having cool mech battles. But the Patlabor movies are what would they be considered? They're very much comment on war and society. A running joke for Patlabor 1 and 2, the movies, because there's also a long TV series. But the running joke is kind of like, is the anti-war movie that makes war look fun. Or makes it look cool, not fun. So I take that back. It's an anti-war film that makes war look cool. Just because all of the animation and the designs are so well done. And I don't know where Patlabor's streaming right now, but I picked up the Blu-ray box set last year on sale, and it was only like $45-50 US at the time on Amazon. And that's for 3 movies, like 15 episodes, and then a 49 episode TV series. So that was quite the deal, and it looks great especially for its age. Because I'm pointing at the video that was there. Do I still have it? Yes. Patlabor 2 came out in... Let's see if they say it here. Blah, 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 blah. Random person who uploaded it. Yeah, if I were to take a stab, I'd say Patlabor 2 is probably like 1991. Let's find out. Patlabor 2 release. 1993, I take that back. The first Patlabor was 1989, and the second Patlabor was 1993. For reference, Ghost in the Shell came out in 95. Let's see. A mechanized police force investigates when terrorists incite civil war in 2002 Japan. Really? It's supposed to take place in 2002? Yeah, 3 years after the events of the first movie. Okay, that is amusing. I thought it was at like 2030s or something. So that's kind of amusing. Needless to say, we don't have big construction and war mecha. Yes, the not too distant future, yes. I mean, isn't what is the next sci-fi movie that we're approaching? Is it Total Recall? Because I think we passed up the original Blade Runner a couple years ago. I want to say Blade Runner was set... when was Blade Runner? Blade Runner... year. Nope. When does it take place? 2019, yes. Demolition Man should be, Or is Demolition Man in the far future? Let's look this up. This is fun. Demolition Man, 1993. Takes place in... 2032, okay. Yeah, I thought Demolition Man and Total Recall took place like really close together. Because, you know, that was, at the time, the very far distant future. How about Time Cop? I see all these things coming up in the sidebar. When did Time Cop take place? Come on, tell us when it takes place. 2004. Wow, I'm way off on that one. Yes, in the near distant future of XYZ. Okay, now the real question is, what year does The Fifth Element take place? What year take place? There we go. At least that one's super duper in the future. That is 2263. Okay, so we've still got some space to go on our sci-fi. I saw a poster that I had wanted to order a long time ago. And it had a, in order, when all the sci-fi things took place, but it was like a 2-part timeline. So it had, on one side of the timeline, it had when it was released, and on the other side, it was when it was supposed to take place. So it was, one side it was like all squirrely, and the other side it was, when it took place. So you would know what the next sci-fi event was supposed to be. What year for the Butlerian July? Well, I mean, doesn't Dune take place like 10,000 years in the future? I forget the exact timeline on that one. I'm still a big fan of the original David Lynch movies, long intro narration that explained, in the year 10,000. Yes. Oh, 10,000 years before Dune. Okay. We'll find out when they do the that prequel series that they're supposed to be coming out with soon. Oh, I'm just gonna delete that. That is such a hideous shape. Okay. This is driving me nuts. I keep clicking over at my OBS window. This is what happens when you're used to using two monitors to work with. And yeah, so I keep, usually I have a bunch of toolbars stashed over on my other monitor. But that's where OBS is right now, which is displaying, of course, my desktop here. So I keep clicking over on that window to move things around. It's just not working for some reason. I don't know. I just don't understand why it's not working in the completely wrong screen. There, we are going to greatly simplify some of these shapes here, in the interest of maybe getting this done, getting at least a demo of this done, probably next week, unless I ditch this this version altogether, which I might. I might actually ditch this version just because. I don't remember if you were here or not, Vanilla. Yeah, some of these shapes, they'd be so much easier for me to do in a different program, whether I do an outline of them in like Illustrator or vector program like Inkscape. So do the vector drawing of it and then bring it into Maya and just make it thicker. Or if I do this in Fusion, which everybody can have it for personal use, but bring into Fusion and use some of those nice layout tools, make it there, create the shapes there, then bring them into Maya for rigging and finishing them. We'll see. I might have some free time during the week to do that. Yeah, I might have some free time here and there. Instead of playing video games, maybe I'll do that instead. No, not the video games. You can't take that away from us. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. Oops. Not too far. There we go. Okay, and let's toss in some multi-cuts. There we go. Beyond the Time Barrier. When did that movie come out? I have no idea. 1960. So a little while ago. Boy and his dog. Oh, boy and his dog. Ah. You know what I have not done yet? This is gonna shock you. I haven't saved yet. We should probably do that if we want to recover this at all. Okay, we will call this MADOX-01. There we go. Yeah. Okay. You know, I could probably just get away with just duplicating this and putting it the other way. Okay, we are going to go into wireframe mode here. Actually, you know, that doesn't look the worst. Doesn't look the worst. Could look better. We're going to duplicate this guy, though, backwards. And where is this? No, not that. You also need to go backwards. And where's that pin? You're down there. Let's do a little color coding here. Create material. Because we're going with a really flat shaded theme with everything. Okay, Lambert, we're gonna call it really? You're not gonna let me name anything? Come on. There we go. Dark gray, gray. Okay, pins are going to be... We'll make the pins dark gray. Oh, no. I have a really bad habit of... I'm getting better about it. I'm getting better with my bad habit. So my bad habit is naming things iteratively. Iteratively. That's a big word for this time of night. So, you know, I'll make, like, this is Maddox foot 01. That's actually pretty good for me. So slight alterations to it will be, you know, 01 A, B, C, etc. And then if there's a big enough change, I'll call it 02 A, B, C, etc. So for Rusty, for the avatar here, that's not the right window. This is the right window. Let's see, for Rusty, we are on... Oh, that's actually named quite nice. Rusty Low 13. 1 through 12 had a lot of alphabet after it. And sometimes I'll do, like, if I'm like testing some little tweak or, you know, a texture or some rigging, maybe for an export, I'll have like Rusty, you know, 012A underscore EX for export. You know, if you have to like combine things for export, I'll do shenanigans like that. But in the past, I used to have like 01 AB 02 and a big mess like that. In fact, when I was looking at one of my really old, if I'm looking at one of my really old ones from literally almost 20 years ago, yeah, I had it. This is body 01H. Okay, so that's nice and clean. But 01H A, because that was probably some export I had to put together from 01HA. So yes, nice, very confusing. Oh yeah. No, there's definitely a save sequential. It's oops. Well, they do have autosave, which I have turned off because sometimes Maya misbehaves. But here's increment and save, right up there, which I have actually started using a lot more. It's pretty darn handy. In fact, we're going to do it right now. Bam. And I assume you can set the naming convention, but this just does like, 1,000. Yeah, there's a shortcut for it too. What is it? Control-Alt-S. But yeah, you can definitely have set it up to autosave every so many minutes. I don't know how the new versions work, if they have cloud garbage. I know Fusion 360 is based out of cloud stuff. So you can have it, it just, I think every action just autosaves. But I could be wrong on that. So one of the reasons I don't aggressively increment or autosave is because, yeah, exactly. You can get really, really chunky real fast, especially when I was doing more organic character stuff. Some of the binaries, that's what Maya's file is. You can't see right there because chat's covering up part of it. The directory structure here, or not directory, file path. There we go. I'm running out of nighttime here. Yeah, some of those Maya binaries, they don't compress them when they save. So I would frequently have them be half a gig. And 10 years ago, 20 years ago even, maybe not 20 years ago, but 10, 15 years ago, 400, 500 megabyte file was huge. You couldn't put too many of those on your little hard drive. And there were ways around dealing with those size of files. Like I would frequently just zip them up. Anything that wasn't the current version, I would just archive it. I'd zip it up and it would shrink down tremendously in size. Let's see, 5, 6. Okay, where was that hypershade? You, assign to selection. How about assign to selection and be a slightly different color? Pin. Well, you're not a pin. You don't count. All of you, dark gray. So we can see what on earth is going on. There. Much nicer. Well, I'd show you IK, but this would be a very, very limited IK. Until I would get this, whatever this is, set up. But we can still do it for funsies. Let's hide that for now. Oh yeah, super simple IK. So let's go for it before we have to wrap up. Okay. What on earth did I just select? Okay, let's see. We are going to need our hypergraph. Are you using Blender then? I assume Blender would be available on the Linux. Okay, we're gonna do snap to point. Well, let's see. Let's do these guys. Okay, that's in the right spot. So we can do that to that. Do that to that. Parent. Okay. That works. And get away from there. You. Oh, and my Maya's decided to act up a little bit. I do want to learn some Blender stuff at some point. Ew, that is not. Ew, 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 ew. What's going on here? Let's do this and then this. Yeah, I do want to use Blender at some point. They have some amazing stuff, especially for like some of like the VTubey stuff I'm trying to do. 0? Oops, I did not have the right thing selected. Okay, Maya is officially acting up on me. So we're gonna save, open a new file, and then reload it. Oh, and I just loaded something else up in the other monitor. That's cool. Okay. Mr. Standard code for Maya. Yes, yes. I do have it in, not the current version. Current as of last year, I think. Version of Blender installed when I built this computer. And yes, right away I set it up for. I immediately set it to the Maya key bindings because it's what I'm used to. So, you know, like going through the different tools, you know, rotate, move, you know, scale, it's all muscle memory. And even after not using Maya for a good, you know, 8-10 years and just getting back into it this past really this year, getting back into Maya, it's coming back to me. It's just muscle memory. I think it's an amazing marketing tool for Blender to have it ready to go for Maya key bindings. Though I can't remember how different Maya and Max are from each other for their key bindings. Because Max is definitely the other Autodesk tool. And they are definitely different enough. They're definitely different enough from each other that you need to choose one or the other. There, we'll just parent all of that under there. All right. So now we are gonna speed run through this. We're gonna increment. Let's put down some joints. Turn on snapping. Turn off X-ray so we can see what we're doing. And that is an incredibly small joint size. Let's see, where is display joint size? There we go. Yeah, so one of the downsides of would definitely be, it's like, you know, I knew right where that was. You know, so switching to Blender would be like, okay, I have to have Google open. I have to have the help docs open at the exact same time, so I can figure out what is going on here. We're gonna do a snap. Ooh, snaps the whole thing to grid. Awesome, exactly what I wanted. And there. Okay. Yeah, I do the same thing for Unity though. I have it, I definitely have the window open with the correct version help files or help site, and then also probably like 5 different YouTube video tabs open, to combine all the advice on what I am trying to do. Okay, we are coming up on the end of the stream, but also showing what we're doing here. Create IK handle. Okay. So let's select the first one. Joint 1. End joint. And let's see. There's my handle. Okay, so congratulations. I do believe we have nothing. Okay, that's because we have not parented. Okay, we're gonna freeze all we're gonna do this first. Freeze transformations. And we're gonna freeze all transformations. Thank you very much. There we go. Let's iterate another save here. Oh, I hope I didn't just wipe out the... Okay, I didn't. Good. I did not wipe out the rotations. Oh, Maya does have some beautiful tools. So I am using an ancient version of Maya. This is the last perpetual one. Last perpetual one I bought. And by bought, I don't mean I pirated the rest of them. I haven't used it since, honestly, because I switched career paths. So let's see. Wait, hold on. This to I can walk and talk at the same time, honestly. And this to where's joint 2? Joint 2, where are you hiding? Joint 2, there you are. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I switched career paths shortly after buying this. So I, plunked down a nice chunk of money, and then it became a completely different job. But yeah, so assuming I stick with this for streaming purposes, especially because then I can use it as a write-off, I will probably end up subscribing to the Autodesk Maya, subscribing to the subscription. I'll probably end up doing that just because it comes with a lot of nice tools that I like, tools and updates that I've been drooling over watching the update videos. Like some really nice Boolean modeling, some hard surface. I mean, this is the complete edition from 8 years ago. So it has all the stuff that I'll never use, but, like the particles and physics simulations, I'm just using it for modeling, rigging, and animation at this point. But yeah, there's so much in all of this, and Blender is definitely coming out with a lot of stuff. I mean, to be fair, a lot of stuff you have to get plugins for, and that does add up. But yeah, just like you're saying right there, it's like when I look up info specific to 2016, it's like, oh wow, we had some cool stuff back then. And then I look at it in the new release for 2024 or 5 or whatever it's at, the current version. It's just like, oh wow, there's some really cool new stuff. But at the same time, some of this hasn't changed a whole lot, Yeah, so rendering performance, definitely. This has pretty much nothing for GPU rendering except for the viewport. So, I can have some nice, sexy textures on the viewport and move that around. But other than that, nothing. And I'm stuck with an older, now obsolete renderer, unfortunately. So until I get an update, I'm stuck with Mental Ray, which is deprecated. Can Maya do animation? Maya has been the industry standard in movies since the late 90s. So, like, if you look at anything pretty much before 2020, it was most likely done in Maya. Both for, like, not necessarily VFX, but character animation. Unless, I don't remember if... I assume Disney did, but like Pixar. Pixar had their own render engine for Maya. They a lot of big studios build out their own tools and for their pipeline. But yeah, I mean, just Google movies made with Maya, or even just character animation in movies, and it is impressive. And like the physics simulations in Maya are pretty good. There's a number of other softwares that are also do the simulations, but for character animation especially, Maya's the go-to. I'm pretty sure like Spider-Verse, Arcane, I'm pretty sure those were done in Maya also. Going back to school for CAD. Ooh. I would be very curious to know if CAD is, like AutoCAD is still used. Well, what kind of CAD? Are you going for buildings or like architecture or, oops, I have snapping on. Are you going for architecture or manufacturing? Ooh, look at that. Look at that sexy IK right there. Bam. There, I wanted to at least accomplish this before the end of the stream. Okay, let's get it in all the windows here. Ta-da! We have a working bottom of the foot, or toe, or whatever you want to call it. Stompies. We got our stompies with a very simple IK setup here. Most of the jobs here are actually design. Okay. Yeah, because I've tried introducing some people I know to Fusion, mostly so I could help with them, because they were looking for a new CAD solution for manufacturing. And yeah, apparently they don't really teach it, or they didn't really know it. So they went back to AutoCAD, which I have very limited experience back in the past, mostly just to export from it, because I used to do ArchViz way back when. So I did excuse me. I did architectural visualization for a couple years, and so the amazing thing is that now that is all real time in like Unreal, and so instead of waiting 2 hours for the render, to come through, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll just here's your controller. Go walk through your new office, your new house. It's pretty wild. All right, but I have hit my time limit for tonight, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Actually using concept art for shoes done in CAD. See, that's wild to me. That, well, I suppose, what would you consider CAD? I mean, solid modeling. See, when I mentally, when I think of CAD, I think mechanical and architectural, but that's just me. SolidWorks is also a CAD program. I don't know if Rhino is considered a CAD program, because that's NURBS modeling. That's more organic, but if they even still use Rhino, I had to learn that way back when. Way back when. But yeah, I wonder if it'd be more SolidWorks for that kind of work. Interesting. Or honestly, Max. Max does great for product modeling, especially. It's actually what I used for ArchViz back when. But yeah, no, there's so many new toys out these days I'm excited to play with. You know, whether it's a game engine or new modeling tools or, you know, whatnot. You know, this basic, now that I've got it moving, this basic little foot kind of grows on me. We'll see if I stick with it or not. I'll have to add in the pistons here. So we're definitely saving it. There, saved. All right, let's see. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you caught this. I had the IK, which stands for inverse kinematics. I have it set up for the foot. For the front toe anyways. And to get the other toe is very simple. I just duplicate this setup here. And then the back, the heel, let's give you a bit bigger photo here. So the heel here would be very similar to this setup, just, you know, flip the other way. So we've got 2 front toes for stability. This cylinder right here, which is this large gray circle here, which is a cylinder. That's kind of the ankle. I would call it the ankle, and then the heel is also shock absorbing. You know, so basically this foot is more like a hand, in my opinion. So if you look at my VTuber model here, if I can get it to line up correctly, so you got your 2 toes, and then you've got the heel, and think of the wrist as the ankle there. So when it needs to shock absorb or adjust to a surface for stability, you know, the toes act independent of each other, and then the heel also for that. So this whole, you know, all 3 pieces can flex. Well, they hinge, they don't flex. They would hinge like that. You know, like if you wanted to stand on a post, you know, you kind of clamp onto it like that, right? It's not digigrade, because that would mean it would, you know, be hinged like the back legs of more like an animal, right? This particular mecha is kind of a hard suit, so the person, it kind of fits around the person instead of the person just sitting in a cockpit. I don't think I have a video handy of it here. Let's see if I can hit the back button a couple times. Oh, wait. There's my foot. There it is right there. So there's some shock absorption there. That's about all they showed of it there. Yep, no mecha furs today. Come on, show the hard suit. You're not gonna show the hard suit. But yeah, let's see, you can, there we go. Go back just a smidge. Come on, show him walking. There. Okay, so if you look here, that's the guy's legs. There's his arm. There's his head. And the suit basically just fits around him. So, I mean, put some fur on the outside and he'd be a fursuit. But no, this is a bipedal humanoid. Humanoid mecha. But I do have to call it today. We'll see how I think about this. if I continue on with this particular blocky modeling, or if I finesse it a bit before next week's Mecha Modeling Monday. However, we will be back on Wednesday. I'm going to bring back Rusty's going to be joining us. I'm going to try and have him on every Wednesday. So the Rusty Robot will be here, and going to be doing some artwork for the robot and for the stream. So I'm going to finally do some, like, maybe some fancier overlays than, you know, a cropped photo in the corner. You know, got to work out those future emotes, but that might not be this week. But yes, Rusty the Robot will be joining us. So got to look forward to that excitement. Yeah, no, I am having a blast with this. I mean, this part isn't, you know, isn't part of the Rusty Robot project. But, you know, all roads lead to Rome, I think the saying goes. So, no, it'll be fun. I do plan on doing some more, some actual CAD work on stream at some point, because most of the 3D printed parts for Rusty I do in Fusion. So we'll see. If not, there'll always be some more Avatar stuff. All right, but thank you for joining me here. And let's see. Is there anybody here? There are some people I follow, but they don't really have much to do with this stuff. You know what? We're just gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining me, and we'll catch you on Wednesday. All right. See y'all later.